control. It's all about control. Every dictatorship has one obsession, and that's it.
One of my favorite movies that has created a league of its own is Denis Villeneuve's 2013 psychosexual thriller, Enemy. The story revolves around Adam Bell, a history professor at the UGT whose life monotonously fluctuates between teaching at his college and having an unsatisfactory relationship with his girlfriend. On a usual day in his college, his colleague suggests him a movie.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
That's true.
No, it's a movie. I saw it a little while ago, but I remember I liked it.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah, that's it.
Which he reluctantly agrees to watch. Things start taking a turn when he notices that the bellhop in the movie is his lookalike. He searches for him on the internet only to find out that the doppelganger named Daniel St. Clair, aka Anthony, is actually a struggling actor who has had a small fortune in finding some junior roles in some of the lesser known movies. Out of curiosity, he decides to visit the talent agency, impersonating Daniel to know his whereabouts. As soon as he finds out where he lives, he goes to a nearby phone booth trying to contact him. That's when he accidentally encounters Daniel's wife Helen on the phone. The whole scene is just a smooth camera movement filmed in a single take of Adam talking without cutting to the character on the other side of the phone. Now the question arises, how was Denny able to make this scene so intriguing and suspenseful? There are basically 4 essential components here that I would like to focus on: camera movement, framing, dialogues, and sound. Let's talk about the camera movement. This scene consists of the crane down movement of the camera, which metaphorically signifies that the situation is going downhill. Along with the crane down, the camera also dollies in towards Adam as the situation gets intense. Additionally, the camera tilts up, keeping the focus on his upper body, and comprises of a series of panning movements, positioning him into different parts of the frame as the scene moves forward. This helps in setting Adam's mood and emotions, which are precisely described by the dialogue-oriented framing during the entire scene. Adding to this, it should also be noted that none of these movements come into effect till he hears the phone being picked up. Now comes the framing. Consider Adam's forehead as the quote-unquote center of gravity and divide the frame into 2 equal columns. In terms of conventional emotion, the right half shall be positive while the left half shall be negative. Let's further divide those into 2 more subhalves, giving us a total of 4 columns. Let's number them and color code them, more like a danger meter. The leftmost column portrays the worst of Adam and the rightmost column his best. The first column from the left indicates that he is stressed up and anxious. The second column signifies that he is trying to calm himself down. The third column suggests that he is gathering his courage, while the fourth one will imply that he is relaxed and confident. Now, even though Adam Bell is standing at the same place in this entire scene, it is the camera movement and framing that does the magic. This is really masterful of Denny to make the conversation so indulging, not just with the dialogues, but also by framing Adam in a particular way to raise emotions. Now comes the dialogues. The vital part of almost any scene that can give an emotional push to the character, making him feel pressure and take unexpected decisions, which is something that happens with Adam in this scene. Javier Golom brings out this brilliantly structured set of dialogues, which when plotted in a graph of forehead position with respect to frame number or time, yields values forming a line that shows an emotional shift in Adam with every dialogue of conversation between Adam and Helen. Although we are focusing on Adam in this scene, Helen's mood can also be interpreted at a very specific level. Now let's look at the sound. Since it is clearly established about this being a telephonic conversation, it is very smart of Denny to use only Helen's voiceover instead of cutting back and forth between Adam and Helen. Denny purposely showed him waiting for the call to be picked up while we hear him breathing heavily. This helps us in understanding Adam's emotions, which is equivalent to the silence before the storm.
Hello?
But as soon as we hear the phone being picked up, things change. He starts to adjust to the people whom he is interacting with. Typical of any human to do so. Apparently, there are 2 cases in which things would have been different. Case 1. If Denny wanted to shoot both the characters, things would have been executed differently. more like the conversation between Mark Zuckerberg and Eduardo Saverin in The Social Network, where David Fincher frames one of them in the left and the other one in the right. He cuts back and forth between the characters, and it looks like they are talking to each other in the same room. Case 2. If we get rid of Helen's voiceover, we won't be able to hear her side of emotions. And as a result, we won't be able to feel emotions in Adam's vocal reactions the same way we feel them with her audible presence.
Sorry, don't understand. My name's not Anthony. No, I'm calling to speak to Daniel St. Clair, the actor. If I'm not mistaken, that's Anthony Clair's.
Denny also adds a bit of ambience in this scene, along with his repetitive stuttering. The background music, accompanied by his heavy panting, only starts at the end when the situation has gotten out of his hands. Now putting the mentioned rules into use, let's play the scene.
Hello?
Good afternoon.
Hey,
I'm calling to speak
where
to
are you calling from?
I'm sorry. I think there's been a misunderstanding. I'm calling to speak to Daniel St. Clair, the.
Anthony, you called home.
I'm sorry. Don't understand.
What are you doing?
My name's not Anthony.
You're not Anthony.
No, I'm calling to speak to Daniel St. Clair, the actor. If I'm not mistaken, that's Anthony Clair's name that he uses for the movies for his work.
Right. Right. Well, Daniel isn't here right now. Maybe I can get him to call you back.
Okay, I'm sorry to bother you.
What?
What?
Who is this? Hello? Who is this?
Oh, he doesn't know me. No. Okay, I'll call
Anthony?
back later.
There are several movies which use framing to showcase actions and dialogues in the most creative way. For example, the famous corridor fight scene from Oldboy or every Wes Anderson movie ever. But Enemy has been one of those movies which has continued to influence me in terms of storyline, direction, cinematography, and its ambiguousness, as does every Denis Villeneuve movie ever. We live in a world where reality is an entity that varies with people. It's easier to make more enemies than friends. One of the most common and unique enemy is our own subconscious, with whom we try to make peace every single day of our sinful lives. Life changes, people change, and events take place, making us unable to come to a straightforward conclusion. We start losing track in deciding the difference between happiness and sadness, rags and riches, right and wrong, good and bad, and truths and lies. The only thing left for us to do is to be a hypocrite and choose a side.
You fuck my wife! Did you fuck my wife? That's good. That is fucking good.